Hey guys, we're down in Davenport, Iowa, and I just picked up this 2004 Mustang GT 40th anniversary, as you can see right here. Picked it up for a pretty good price. I have some plans for it. All right, let's check this thing out. So on this front bumper here, it looks like we got some clear coat peeling, so we're gonna have to repair that at some point. Got a crack in the headlight and some fog. They're fogged up, so I'll have to clean them up. Looks like the wheels have been painted black. Not a huge fan of black painted rims, but I'll see if I can't do something with that. The underbody of this car is not too bad. There's a little bit of rust, but we can work with it. And going across here, we got a couple of scratches, and looks like the spoiler is starting to, the clear coat's starting to come off on that. Same thing with the bumper. Tail lights look really good. Over on the passenger side though, we have a couple weight reduction holes. So I'm gonna have to look into this. I'll have to pop out that dent right there. But, oh, and we got a little scratch right there that we'll have to deal with. But other than that, this is a solid platform to actually do something with. So looking at the interior, it is a little bit rough. We do have some holes in the seats here. So I'm either going to replace the seat or have it reupholstered. We have some ripping up on the visor that I'm going to have to deal with. The overall interior is dirty, so I'm probably going to take the seats out and detail the entire thing. Let's take a look underneath the hood. So here we have a 4.6 liter 2-valve. It's not running the greatest right now. The plan is to take out the engine and rebuild it. And the battery is dead, so I can't actually start it for you to listen to it. But it's got a pretty good knock to it. As you can see here, that's corroded really bad. And I'm probably going to have to take it to an auto parts store to get the convertible top up. The guy I bought it from told me a little bit about the story of this car. He said that he got it in as a trade-in for a truck and doesn't know much more about it than that. He had intentions to fix up this vehicle, but then he was told that he had to get rid of a couple of vehicles at his house. So that's how I ended up getting this. In the past few weeks that he's owned it, he has told me that he's driven it around a little bit just to have some fun with his family. But now it's time to let it go. Before my wife and I take off, we're gonna go grab a bite to eat at the shed. And then we'll hop in the truck and drive this thing home and look in the mirror every once in a while and ask myself, who is that tailgating me? After traveling 330 miles home, I noticed a couple more things wrong with this. Since the convertible top was down when we first picked it up and the battery was dead, we were unable to look at the top when we first got it. We ended up going to an AutoZone and putting a jump box on it to lift up the top of this convertible and lift up the windows. And then we noticed a little bit more damage here. As you can see, we have a hole right here. This whole piece is sagging. And when you reach down in here to figure out what's going on, there's actually a bracket that's broken. There's going to be some repair necessary for this convertible top to work properly again. If you look right here, we have a gap. I'm not sure if this is because of the canvas top or it's because somebody tried to break into this window. If you can see right here, that looks like some impact marks. So my guess is somebody tried to break in, so I'm not sure which one of these it is. We are unable to get this car running down in Iowa, so I'm gonna see if we can't get this started right now. I'm gonna replace the battery on here because it's completely dead, and let's see what it's doing. Oh boy, lots of corrosion on this thing. Come on, don't break on me. There you go. Not quite sure why they didn't use a standard bolt to hold the battery in, but whatever. Got myself a Phillips screwdriver. I wonder what would happen. Actually, I already know what would happen. As soon as that thing starts to get rusty and strip out, I'm gonna have to drill the bolt. Not sure why they did that. Come on. Oh. Yeah, that thing is really tight. Well, it's loose now. I can get the battery out. Okay, got the battery out. Looks like somebody put some shims in here. Strange. Maybe wrong battery for the car? And take my little battery cleaner tool here. I'm going to clean up that battery connection real quick. There are some sprays you can get for this, but don't have them, so just going to do it this way. Let me try to get on the outside a little bit. There we go. All right. Got our new battery here. Well, not really new. I see a sticker on here that says 21, so maybe it's got a charge. I hope it does. We'll see. I'm going to test it real quick with my voltmeter. Just to make sure that we got the right amount of voltage. .38 volts. Good enough for me. And this battery is not technically for this model of Mustang. It's actually meant for the generation after that. But I just need something to start it, right? So I'm going to use it. Sparky. All right. Sparks means a good thing, right? I like to think so. Yeah. Okay. All right, battery installed. Let's try to start this thing. You stay out here and watch what it's doing. Let me know. Man, based off of what I heard in the car when I tried to start this thing, a couple knocks, doesn't run very well. Had to hit the gas to keep it running. It doesn't want to idle. I'd say there's something going on with this engine. The plans for this engine is to pull it, and I'm going to replace it with a 5.4. Yes, it may not be the best engine in the world to replace it with, but I have one that I built. Might as well use it, right? The things that I have to be aware of with installing this 5.4 in here, I am using 3-valve pistons. Normally you don't want to do that because of these 2-valve heads. 2-valve heads, or 2-valve engines, use a dished piston. So if I use these 3-valve pistons, it's probably going to bring this compression ratio to 10.5 to 1, which is really high. So I'm probably going to have to use premium on here. And if premium doesn't work, I may just have to switch this to E85. We'll see what I have to do when it's time. The 5.4 will take up more room in the engine bay, so I'll have to be aware of that. The intake, I tried finding intakes for a 5.4 to fit underneath this hood here, and nobody's making them right now. I mean, HPS used to make an intake years ago, and they don't make it anymore. They sold it off to a company, Modular something. I'd have to look it up again to actually know, but they are not making that intake. They used to make adapter plates to fit this 4.6 2-valve intake onto the 5.4, but nobody's making them either. So the option that I'm left with is to grab a 4.6 Edelbrock intake. And this is going to sound crazy, but I'm going to cut it in half and then weld in aluminum to fill in the gaps. I will admit I've never done a swap quite like this before where I have to modify an intake, but I'm not afraid to take on that challenge. If you're interested in following along with this 5.4 swap, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss anything. And if you enjoy content like this, please give me a like. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. And I'll see you on the next one.